there you go. Horses. Good way to start the video. Right. This is going to be another walk and talk. It's going to be my first Alton Towers chat. Where I'm living at the moment, I live in Dover, Kent. I used to live in Staffordshire. And I had a job, 2003 to 2007. I was working at Alton Towers theme park. Now this is about how I got the job and the interview. Right, since I was a little one, many hundreds of years ago, I always wanted to work at a theme park. Most kids I knew at that age just wanted to work at a theme park. It was the most wonderful thing you could think of. Not being an astronaut, working at a theme park. So when I got into my adult years, I tried to apply for a job there. Didn't succeed, then applied again and again over the years. And then in 2002, I had an interview. And the interview process was quite weird. I originally went to do admin work, not anything in the park itself. So I thought, forgetting the door for the admin work, that'd be a way into work at Alton Towers. But not knowing when I got to the interview, it was like a whole bunch of people come for the interview, and we had to pick 3 different jobs you wanted to do at Alton Towers. So I chose admin, I chose games, and I chose shop. And didn't want the shop work, didn't want the games really, but I had the interviews. And the one that picked me was the games. But I'm thinking, well, you know what? Yeah. You know what? I'll be working on Alton Towers. Doesn't matter where it's going to be. So, yeah, I got the job. Then I had to wait another few months. And then the process is, beginning of the season, which is mainly March or April, that's when you start. But in February, they got a group of people to come in and have training sessions. So I had to get a taxi, which the unemployment paid for, and there and back for a few days. Did team building courses, blah blah blah. Found out about the rules of Alton Towers, the do's and don'ts working there, all that kind of jazz, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that was like a couple of days. Then a few weeks later I had to go back for another couple of days, where it was, because the first training was all about Alton Towers, doesn't matter where you worked. The second meeting up was the department you're working in. So I was in the games, and as Auckland it was called then, it was as it was called then, with the corkscrew and that kind of stuff, where Reach of the Queen of Speed is. If she's still called that, I don't know. So we had this was a separate kind of training, separate one, where it was all about that area and about Bumblebee. It's alright, I was going to record it, but Bumblebee, big bumblebees, isn't now. Distractions, they get you stuck with me. So yeah, so we actually, they took us to the area where we're working in, what the job roles will be, what kind of stuff, all like ins and outs of the work and the job. That was a couple of days. Got to know who you're working with. And then April time you came and started, and yeah. And I mentioned a bit about the first season, because I want to do proper videos about this. The first season, I'll just narrow it down for the seasons. The first season was a big learning experience. It was scary, but it was good. It was going from office work to a youth worker to working at Alton Towers was a massive culture shock, because you're dealing with thousands of people every day, customers from around the world, different people, famous people. The work was like constant, ongoing. You had to really push. So the first year, I still didn't know if I wanted the job. Didn't know if I was going to keep it or not. And it was only seasonal, so it's April to November, or March to November, depending what year. And the first few months were crazy. Learning the games, being shy and being a bit, not very confident. To the end of the season was like, yeah, I could do this again, no problem. The management was good for that year. It was interesting. So yeah, that season came and went. Season 2 came, more confident. Did exactly the same really as the first year, and then it came to the third season, which was a bit different. I had more confidence, worked on better games, I was more respected because I came back the seasons. I knew the management well. Most of the team kept coming back, so it was great, meeting good friends again, And then the fourth season, that's when it changed quite a bit. And the fifth season was the final season. I didn't survive the whole season because things had changed, which I'll get into in the other videos. But my main overall view of working at a theme park is it's far more rewarding in different ways than you think. When I said that I dreamt of working at a theme park, well, it was a good dream coming true, but you learn so much of other things you had no way of knowing. You learn more about behind the scenes and that kind of stuff. You learn more about how the management works, but it was a big eye-opener. It's one of them jobs, right? I've seen people start there being complete idiots, but leaving respectable because they've learned a big life lesson. Because you're dealing with problems over 5 seconds, and some of the things you're dealing with people from around the world, different countries, good people, bad people, gangs and knives put in your face and stuff like that, and things like that. You deal with a lot of issues that you never ever would have thought of that would happen at a theme park. But my overall view is they're the best years of my life, and I couldn't imagine not working there. I mean, I'm so glad that I had them years there. It was amazing. I always look back with the positives. Yeah, there were negatives, a lot of negatives, but what outweighed it was the people, just the interaction with the customers, just being a part of something that's massive. It's an amazing place, and it's a well-loved place and a well-hated place. But the games were fantastic, But I want to get more into. I don't want to talk about it too much. This is just a rough guide of what I want to talk about and my true feelings of working at the theme park. Yeah, you got Thorpe Park. Yeah, you got other ones. You got Chessington. You got other parks. But what's different to Alton Towers is it's based in the middle of the countryside, and you got a ride area, you got the countryside, you got a park area, you got like a little relaxing area. You can escape all the screams and shouts and the noise of the roller coaster just by walking down one of the country lanes in there. And you're like by a river, a stream. You can sit down, have a picnic, then you can get back to the craziness of the theme park. Thorpe Park's okay, but everything's crowded into one. You can't escape the madness, you can't escape people, But Alton Towers to me is a dream come true, and I don't regret working there for 1 second. I regret losing the job. I regret what happened to my life, which we'll go into in future videos. But yeah, it's definitely one of those jobs that's life-changing. I mean, I went from office work, and I thought, I'm not a people person. I could not work with a lot of people. Then I went to youth worker, which was like, it was okay, But then that's youth worker job got me into Alton Towers because I was a people person. And that, from then on, honest to God, I'm a people person. I could sit back in an office again, but I'd miss the interaction with the public. It's just crazy how life can change, how a job can change your life. So I don't regret 1 second of working there. The friends I made, amazing, and I've still got a few of the friends now, even though that was left in 2007. I mean, that's many years ago. But I still got my diaries, and as you might have seen, I got an A4 folder with about 200 odd pages or so with my diaries I've typed up on my computer over the time. You know, I kept a log of it every day I worked, and not the days I was off and stuff, but the days I worked and the little bits. The famous people I met, that kind of stuff, that was crazy, I tell you, crazy. So yeah, so any questions you want to ask away. You know, some of the things I might be able to answer, you know, like what it's like working at the theme park. I would answer that, and you know, what's the one thing you think would be the main aspect of working at the theme park, apart from getting on the rides and stuff and that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to give any spoilers. I've got to record them walk and talks. Some might be outdoors. I might record some in my room chats, but I might just record, hopefully 99% of them out and about walking like this in different places. You know, yeah. Anywho, that's it really. Don't want to drag on too long. I don't know how long all these videos, walk talk videos, will be completely different time sizes, because yeah, sometimes I can go talking in tangents. I mean, the Alton Towers ones are going to be quite long because I've got so much to talk about, but I want to try and split them up, you know, not record it all at once, you know. I've got to do bullet points, not scripting. I use bullet points really, because bullet points are fantastic. So yeah, let me know what you think, and subscribe if you want to. If you want to hear more about this Alton Towers stuff. Yeah. Anyway, it's been a pleasure talking, and I appreciate everyone watching. And yeah, I shall leave you to it. Catch you on the next one. Hopefully you can join me for that. Saturdays, Sundays, the walk and talks, and Monday to Friday, just general diary chats in my room, you know. Yeah. Anyway, catch you soon.